Hi guys, and welcome to the video on solving multi-step inequalities. Now this basically is just to bring in everything together, a culmination of everything that you've learned over the past 3 videos. So we're just going to take all those 3 different steps that we learned and we're just going to put them together. Okay, first thing, I just want you guys to remember that first thing is that you solve inequalities pretty much like you solve equations, right? Nothing really changes as far as the process of solving. Okay, so if you're having an inequality problem, change it to an equal sign and solve it like that, and then insert the inequality sign. The second thing is when you are multiplying or dividing, remember, by a negative number across the inequality sign. I'm just going to abbreviate there, sorry. And I cannot spell, sorry. Right, you flip the sign. Okay, that is the biggest thing that everyone's going to mess up on, because you'll do fine in solving it, but then something will happen and you'll just forget to flip it. So I would always go back and check and make sure that you've got your sign the right way. Alright, so let's go into the first one. Alright, so our first one is 2x plus 11 is less than or equal to 19. Alright, so like I said, this is just an equation. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get rid of our 11, so we're going to subtract 11 from both sides. That leaves us with 2x is less than or equal to 8. And then now we're getting to where we're going to divide. We have no negative numbers, so we know that our sign is going to stay the same. So we divide by 2, and we get x is less than or equal to 4. Right, and then if you're going to graph that, if this is 4, you have a open circle, closed circle, and it's less than, so it's going to go this way. Alright, second one, let's see, negative 2 minus 3x is greater than or equal to 7. Alright, so first thing, remember x is on one side, non-x is on the other, so we're going to add 2 and then add 2. So that gives us negative 3x is greater than or equal to 9. Alright, so now we see we've got this negative sign over here, so that means we're going to be dividing by a negative 3. So remember, if you're dividing by a negative 3, that means we're going to flip the sign. Okay, so that gives us x, and 9 divided by negative 3 is negative 3, and we're going to flip the sign, so we get is less than or equal to negative 3. Alright, here we go, number 3. 2x minus 5 is less than or equal to 5x plus 4. Alright, so let's see, let's go ahead and get rid of our 2x first. You always want to try to do this so that you don't have a negative variable, because when you have a negative variable, that means that you're going to have to flip the sign, and the more that you can avoid doing that, the better off you are about not having to make mistakes. Okay, so when you have the choice where the variables are on both sides, make the choice that you don't have the negative. It'll just make things a lot easier. Alright, so now we're going to subtract 4. Alright, so we have 3x is greater than or equal to negative 9. Alright, so now remember that it doesn't matter that the 9 is negative. We worry about what number we're dividing by. And the number we're dividing by is a positive 3, so we're not going to flip. No flip. Alright, so we get x is greater than or equal to negative 3, and we rewrite that as x is greater than or equal to negative 3. Okay? Alright, on to number 4. This should go fairly quickly. Alright, number 4. 6m minus the quantity 2m plus 3 is greater than or equal to 13. All right, now this is something that a lot of people struggled with on the EOS. Remember, if you've got this negative sign right here, that is the same thing as having a -1, and you have to distribute that to both numbers, okay? So that leaves you with 6m minus 2m minus 3 is greater than or equal to 13. All right, now we're going to combine like terms. So we've got 4m minus 3 is greater than or equal to 13. Add 3. And we get 4m is greater than or equal to 16. Right? And then again, we're not dividing by anything negative, so it's just a positive 4, so no flip on this one. So m is greater than or equal to 4. All right, let's go on to number 5. That one's got some fractions in it, so don't get scared if you struggle with those. All right, so we have got 3/4 t minus 5 is greater than 4. All right, so when you have a fraction, I always want to make sure you get rid of extra numbers. So let's go ahead and get rid of this 5 first. We want as few numbers as possible when we're trying to get rid of fractions. So we have 3/4 t is greater than 9. Okay, now in order to get rid of this fraction, if we multiply it by its reciprocal, okay, look what happens. The 4's cancel and the 3's cancel, and you're left with just t. But you also have to multiply this side by 4/3. So that leaves us with t is greater than, right, and then 1 is greater than 12. All right. Number 6, 2x minus 7 over 5 is greater than or equal to 9. Okay, so basically all we're doing, when you have them like this, if you want, you can do what we did when we did equations. We put this over 1. So we're doing 5 times 9 is 45. And then 1 times 2x minus 7 is 2x minus 7. Okay, notice our inequality sign, the greater than part is still facing towards the x like it was here. All right, so now we're going to add 7 and then add 7. So that gives us 2x greater than or equal to 52, right? And then remember, we are not dividing by a negative. This is a positive 2. So that means that x is greater than or equal to 20. Oops. Go off the screen there. X is greater than or equal to 26. All right, what do you think? It's not too hard. Just getting caught up on your equations. All right, so the last two problems are word problems. Okay, so it's telling you to define a variable. When they're saying define a variable, they're just making sure you give it a letter, a number. You can do whatever you want. N or X is probably the best to do, just that's what you're going to see the most. All right, so let's see. Define the variable, pick which one you're going to use, and then it says to write the inequality. So it says 4 times a number, so 4 times X is less than, so there's my less than sign, the sum of 2 times that same number and 6. So the sum is going to be adding 2 times that same number is 2x and 6. All right, and then from here, all you're going to do is solve it like we just did. So let's get rid of our 2x. So that's 2x is less than 6. Divide by 2. So x is greater than or equal to 3. Okay? Now, this part is telling you to check its reasonableness. All right. So when it's telling you to check its reasonableness, you're telling me, whoops, I made a mistake. Sorry, it's it's just less than. Okay, it's telling you to basically check and make sure that this is a correct answer. So if it's less than 3, that means any number that is less than 3. So the best way I like to check it is make x equal to 3 and see what you get. So if you do x equals 3, you get 4 times 3 is less than, I keep on putting that equal sign, 2 times 3 plus 6. So 4 times 3 is 12, is less than 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, that's not true because 12 should be equal to 12. So we know that this does not work. Okay, and then it's saying, then you can pick a number that is less than 3 to see if that works. So let's do x equals 2. You could pick any number less than that, but I just picked something fairly simple. So 4 times 2 is less than 2 times 2 plus 6. So that gives us 8 is less than 4 plus 6. So is 8 less than 10? It is. So that's what it means by checking your reasonableness, right? You always have to go back, especially when you guys are taking tests and stuff, go back and make sure that you have the correct answer. Okay? All right, because you know when you have a test, if this is your answer, excuse me, you know that they're going to have less than or equal to, or they're going to have greater than, so you have to make sure that your sign's correct. All right, so last one. 3 more than 1/3 of a number. So 1/3 of a number is 1/3 of x, and 3 more means plus 3, is no more than 9. So if something is no more than 9, that means the greatest it can be is 9. So that is going to be less than or equal to 9. When I was looking at homework, there were some of you that were still confused about the no more than, no less than. So just think about it logically. All right. So remember I said we have a fraction. We want to get rid of anything that we can. So we have 1/3 x is less than or equal to 6. All right, so we want to get rid of the 1/3. So we're going to multiply by 3/1. We're going to do the same thing over here. Okay, these 3's cancel, and we're left with x is less than or equal to, excuse me, 18. Okay, and then go ahead and go through that and check to make sure it's reasonable. So I would do x equals 18, and since it's less than or equal to 18, oh, I lied about that, hold on. Since it says equal to 18, that should make it equal. So I would do a number that's bigger than 18 and a number that's smaller than 18. So maybe do a number smaller than 18 would be like 2, and a number bigger than 18. Since we have a fraction of 1/3, I would pick a number that's divisible by 3. So try both of those and see which one works, so make sure that this is the correct answer. All right, guys, you guys have a good weekend. You should be watching this over the weekend, and I will see you in class. You guys have a good night. Bye.